Like these guys all got together when they know no one's around.
Did we talk last time about the Nixon? What's the Jackie Gleason story?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a wild story.
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
Of all the UFO stories, that's my favorite because it's
Yeah.
plausible.
Yeah.
You know, Nixon and Jackie were buddies. And if you're buddies with a guy and he likes to drink, and the two of you are playing golf and drinking, he's like, you want to see some shit?
Yeah.
That's what I would do. If I was the president, I was
That's what I
friends with
would've
Jackie Gleason.
Bet him. All right. You win, I'll fund your campaign.
Right.
I win. You show me some shit.
Yeah, right?
I
Play a
wanna see-
round of
yeah.
golf.
Yeah. I want to see Area 51.
If they brought you, would you open your mouth? If they said, Aaron, we're going to take you, but you gotta just keep this on the DL.
I think so.
I think so, too.
Yeah. I want to see some shit.
Here's the thing.
The remote viewing stuff in Area 51 is pretty wild, though. People have talked about, and you had a person talking about remote viewing recently, but how it's guarded by, I mean, the CIA's been doing it forever. Finally, some of that's declassified, but they have the remote viewing, like, guards who guard secret places like that, especially Area 51. It's pretty wild.
They're remote viewing while they're guards?
They have guards whose role is you're a remote viewing guard.
Whoa.
So their duty is they go into their astral bodies and guard the facility
What does that entail? Like, what are they guarding it from?
from other astral viewers who try and get in there.
What? Like, you block them?
There's been a lot of people online who've talked about this.
Yeah, there's a lot of people online that talk about a lot of things, though, unfortunately. I'm open-minded with this remote viewing stuff because the Hal Puthoff stuff was fascinating when he was describing it, like how accurate
Yeah.
it had been when there was that crashed jet from Russia
Yep.
that they were trying to recover, and they found it within a couple-mile radius. They
Yep.
were able to recover it before Russia was.
Mhm.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Like, if that's a real ability that people have,
You think it's bullshit?
no.
No,
No, I
okay.
don't think it's bullshit. I think they spent too much money on it, and they researched it for too long for it to be total bullshit. And Hal Puthoff was very compelling. I've never seen it in action, though. So I've, remain
You never seen what? Somebody.
remote view.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
You got to practice.
I would like to know. I mean, imagine if someone could show you how to do it and you could do it.
That'd be great. I'd love to.
Yeah. Where would you go with it?
Area 51.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Right. If you could time remote view, I'd go right into when Bob Lazar was working there. Like, show me.
I go Roswell, 1947.
Ooh, yeah, that's
whatever,
the big one.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of those, man.
We were talking off camera about that element.
115?
115.
Yeah.
How long do you think it is? Because one thing I think about is like if you think, our parents' age, right? Like what they lived through technological, and like all the advances since 50s, 60s, and stuff to now.
Yeah.
And fast forward another 30, 40 years for us. Like at what point does some of this technology really come out? The anti-gravity stuff, the disclosure of the UFOs,
It's a good question. What Hal Puthoff said was that during the Bush administration, they put together a panel of scientists and experts, and they gave them a task. The task was compile a list of things that would be disrupted by disclosure. They said, if we disclose that we have recovered crashed vehicles of non-human intelligence and biological remains, what would be the implications? And so they had a list of pros, things that would be disrupted, and then things that we would benefit from, and they put a numerical value to each one of them, and it was overwhelming by every one of them that it would be overall negative. And so they decided not to disclose.
what was on the con side beside religion? Because I know religion is a big part of it.
Religion was a big part of it. Government. Why would anybody believe that we have control over anything if there are some super intelligent beings from some unknown realm, whether it's another planet or another dimension, that have technology far beyond our comprehension? And then there's the religious aspect, which gets really weird, that Lazar talked about,
Yep.
where there's this immense folder that he encountered that has to do with religion,
Yep.
that has to do with how aliens created these religions in order to protect what they say human beings are here for, that we're containers. So like of what? And he said, I don't know. They referred to us as containers.
Yeah.
And the religion was designed to sort of keep the peace, or to keep some sort of a moral structure.
And the idea is if we had this disclosure and this information that the moral structure and the moral fabric of society would disintegrate?
It would crumble because we wouldn't be able to control people at all. If we all knew that there was something beyond our comprehension that's here all the time, that can hide in plain sight, that lives in the ocean, they have bases in the ocean, they, can mask their appearance and fly at insane rates of speed and just appear in places, and they essentially have complete control over everything that goes on Earth. That would, we would lose all of our faith in any sort of governmental institution, because
What's wrong
these are
with
just fools. Well, they think it's bad. In their, to have this power, and all of a sudden it just gets taken away voluntarily by you. Like, if they could go back in time and stop the internet, don't you think they would?
Yeah.
I don't think they had any idea what the internet was going to be when they released it.
No,
They're
I
probably
didn't.
like, what could be the harm of letting people get on AOL?
Yeah.
You've got mail.
They're going to be tired from the dial-up. It's going to take too long. People are going to lose interest.
Yeah. Nobody had any idea that you were going to be carrying 5G data in your phone, in your pocket, that's capable of sending video all over the world instantaneously. And then social media, where you could share that information and people would upload it to thousands of other places instantaneously. You have no control over information anymore. Before, they used to have total control of the distribution of any information. They had complete control of propaganda.
And they don't now?
No, they don't.
They don't have total control, but they have control.
We're talking.
Yeah.
So they don't have total control. They don't have total control if we're talking.
They don't have total control, but they have total viewing access.
Yes. That's the weird thing about the UFO stuff, right? Because there's two problems with disclosure. One of the problems is these people who were involved in these programs had to have lied to Congress.
Yes.
There's misappropriation of funds. They had to get money in some sort of a way, and they got this money through some sort of a misappropriation of funds, and that is highly illegal. So there has to be – this is that Age of Disclosure documentary. I don't know if you saw it. It hasn't come out yet, but they had a screening at South by Southwest, and Jamie and I saw it. It's really good. It's really incredible, but it's all people talking about what they know, what they've seen, and what
kind
the
of people?
problems
Is
are.
Bob one of the guys?
Bob's not one of the guys, but Hal Puthoff's in there.
Oh, yeah, Hal was talking about that.
I mean, there's a ton of people.
When's that coming out?
I do not know.
Is it coming out theater-wise, or is it coming out like on a streaming service? Or?
It'll probably come out on a streaming service, I had to guess, but it could come out in the theaters as well.
They're not going to try and bury it?
No, I mean, I don't think you can at this point.
Too big? Yeah.
Everybody already knows that it's done and it's out there.
I think that's how disclosure is ultimately going to happen. It's just going to one day there's going to be like, boop, there it is.
They think this documentary is going to break the well.
Really?
Or break the dam, rather. Yeah, they think this one's pretty intense. It's got basically everybody that worked on Christopher Mellon, all these different people that worked on all these different programs saying exactly what we have, what we know, how long it's been going on. And this is why they have not released these things. So there's that aspect of it, the lying to Congress, the misappropriation of funds. And then there's the other things that, how do you work on this stuff? Well, the government can't really do it on their own. So what do? They bring in defense contractors that make jets and spaceships and shit. Those are the people that get access to this material. If they do have back-engineered crafts, and if they do have something that they recovered that's a crashed vehicle of non-human intelligence, non-human origin, not of this world, and they're back-engineering this, that company that's back-engineering that has an enormous advantage over their competitors. And so their competitors would just sue. Because, like, why would you give them access to – why would Raytheon get access to it when GE doesn't, or, whatever the company is?